Boogity boogity.
Well, we're playing Giant Slayer, and the last time we left our intrepid adventurers, they were in the Ghostlight Marsh, just entering it. They had just fought a massive ambush on the boat, orchestrated by Malira. As I recall, Malira was then murdered for those crimes. Executed for those crimes. And we also saw them wander into the marsh and to fight a Hydra, as it will come to be known, though none of the characters could figure out what it was. They beat it to a bloody pulp and left it for dead in the marsh. And so that is where we find our adventurers tired and more or less covered in blood of a dead Hydra. So, what are you guys doing?
Well, we need to get away from the Hydra before it recovers the 200 hit points we took away from it.
Yeah, actually, so we looked that up. If it has regeneration, it can't die. But fast healing, you guys actually killed it a whole bunch, so it's all dead and stuff. Don't worry. about
okay, so it actually is dead.
Yeah, but you guys were freaking out as it was regrowing things and just beat it to a bloody pulp there for a couple of seconds.
Smash. Just smash it.
We outdid its own healing.
Well, I mean, it's fast healing 5, so I mean, Thrask could have just tried to coup de grace when it was on the ground and probably killed it.
Oh yeah, true. Next time.
So as a recap as well, you guys are in the Ghostlight Marsh. Who has the Ghostlight Lantern?
I believe Klaus does.
Yeah.
Klaus. Alright, you guys are in the Ghostlight Marsh, and Taylor, forgive me, I did not replace your token yet.
No, it's okay. I'll
so.
stick with what'd you call me? What'd you say my hairstyle looked like?
Sir Viking.
Yeah, Viking.
Like Blink 182 or something.
Yeah, you're a boy band.
Drummer from Blink 182.
Yeah, perfect. So you guys are in the Ghostlight Marsh. Klaus, you have, and this is Klaus here. Klaus, you have the Ghostlight Lantern, which you need to find a Will-O-Wisp, and you need to find a Will-O-Wisp and put its dead husk inside the lantern, and that will guide you to the Vault of Thorns, where you hope to find weapons that will help you defeat orcs, as you head to Fort Red Lake to assault a castle that you know is filled to the brim with orcs. So yeah, there you go. All right, so again, I put it to you guys. What are you doing?
We adventure deeper into the marsh to find the Will-O-Wisps.
Yeah, can I do a knowledge check on Wisp? Have we done it yet?
Yeah, we have.
Yes, you've done lots and lots of knowledge checks on wisps, all of which have resulted in a big fat goose egg.
What about the geography to see if I know where they are here?
Yes, go ahead and roll me a knowledge geography test. You know, as you consider your knowledge of geography here in the marsh of Ghostlight Marsh, you can't, like, the Will-O-Wisps. It's named after Will-O-Wisps, so you know that. But you don't know where exactly they're located. Like if there's a hub for them, or like. Yep. But confident as ever, you do remember that at some point there is a trail that leads through Ghostlight Marsh, and so that will be that'll be something you'll want to look for deeper in.
Well, if we've looked our wounds enough, I suggest we keep moving. I'm quite empty in these marshes.
I could use a bit of healing, perhaps. I am not feeling great.
Unfortunately, I think all we have is the potions.
I think we maybe should go back and rest on the ship a day.
I
Go all the
think
way
that
back to
idea-
the ship just so that more orcs can come?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but we're pretty strung out.
Well,
we could always
might
just
be
find a
better
place
going
to
down.
rest.
What if there's another ambush?
We could find a cave and rest in the cave. Make camp.
Well,
But plus, there are orcs around. Maybe they have a forward camp somewhere. We could always rest there if we clear it.
I believe the dry land does exist further into the marsh. Once we get past the shoreline.
Let us continue in deeper to see what we can't find. Maybe we can find a place to camp.
yes, let us
Yeah,
push
we-
on.
I'm
we
fairly
tell what
certain
time
there's
of
a-
day it is,
there's
or
a
the
trail
night
as
time?
well.
Yeah, it's honestly it's late morning. So it's almost yeah, it's almost noon.
Alright. Well,
It's just dark in the swamp.
brother, I believe you have the chairs in your backpack.
Yes, you're probably right. I will save them for now, though.
If we're lucky, we won't even need them.
I don't know if luck is on our side.
Let me ask my ancestors. Boogity boogity boogity. Boogity boogity. Yeah, no, we're not getting lucky.
Are you, excuse me. Do you want to use your augury ability?
I might. I'm trying to think of a yes or no question that would account for, is there a resting place ahead?
Would it be wise to rest ahead or back?
Oh yeah, that is yeah, that's a good one, Deets. We'll go with that. I will use my augury and I'll ask, is it wise to rest ahead, or will we find a resting spot? Yay or nay?
The document yourself out of the ritual.
Okay. So what is the actual question you're asking?
So I'll sit where we're at. I'll go cross-leg on a rock and start meditating, and I'll throw my oracle bones and ask my ancestors, will there be a place to rest ahead?
Okay. As you do that, and by the way, guys, if you notice Klaus is talking and it kind of comes up like that, if you go backslash instead of like backslash W to like whisper to somebody, or backslash R to roll something, if you go backslash E space and then type, it'll emote for you. So I usually do Thrask, and then like I'll do backslash E space says comma like that. So then it says GM says hi, right? Or it would say Thrask says hi. So you guys can talk to each other. No brackets. Oh, Thrask is doing that. That's what you do, but no brackets. So there's our side. And that way you can differentiate between out-of-character conversation and in-character. In-character, you do the backslash E. Out-of-character, you just type. Great. So yeah, you guys sit and take up resting positions. It's going to take, you know that the last time he communed with his ancestors, it took about 10 minutes. So what do you guys want to do during those 10 minutes? Does anybody want to do anything like fancy?
I scour ahead slightly.
Guess I'll just keep a watch on our surroundings. And just sit down on a stump or something, get the pipe out, and start smoking, watching around the camp.
Great. Why don't you roll me a perception check? Aga, what do you want to do? Chris, you might have PTT on.
Forget to push.
There we go. I'd like to see if I can heal anybody with the healer's kit.
Alright, that'll take about an hour to do. Do you still want to do it?
No. If we're just wait, it's 10 minutes for him.
Yeah.
Then probably not.
Okay. But at camp tonight, like when you guys make camp, that can be an activity. Basically, there's like an hour before and an hour after that you don't need to sleep, really. Or 2 hours before and 2 hours after that you don't need to sleep. And so you have 4 hours every time you camp that you can do something with. So that could be those heal checks, alright?
Okie dokie.
Cool. Alright, so...
Can I look for anything to eat or drink with the survival?
Yes, you can. Go ahead.
Correct. While you are working, let me borrow your sword. I will try to make it sharper for you.
Oh, yeah. I'm in a trance, bro. I can't hear you.
I'll just take your sword then.
Nice. So you
I let
sharpen
you
his
take
sword.
the sword since I'm tranced out.
So you take his falchion. You're using an actual falchion at this point, right?
Yeah, cold iron falchion.
That's right. So you take his falchion, and I take it you put it to a whetstone, or what are you doing with it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And so you can type to him what that does. And then, your survival check. You look around and kind of looking at the water. You're certain that that's not okay to drink. But as you're walking around, this is a kind of a softer ground, and you find this pool of water that kind of bubbles up, and you realize that this area is it's spring fed in many ways, and this is a spring that bubbles up there, and so you found some drinkable water that you guys can use to refill your water skins or just have a drink from.
Guys, there's water over here if you need to fill up your skins.
Klaus, as you move forward, feel free to emote back to him. Back to Aga. Klaus, as you move forward, you don't really see a whole lot. You get a sense that you're going in the right way for the land that you think is out there, but man, it's just a vast expanse of marshland. And you work your way back. You only go out about 5 minutes, maybe 100 or 300 feet, somewhere in there, and come back. And then Vasily, as you are sitting there smoking your pipe, you don't see any disturbance to like the surrounding brush or anything, but you keep a keen eye on Klaus as he wanders out, and are able to see if he gets into any danger or anything.
My good eye tells me it's clear up ahead.
Yeah, it was a pretty good perception check for you. If you're listening to this and don't know, Klaus got a nasty eye wound earlier in one of our sessions that gives him a negative what to perception checks? -4?
-3.
4 times.
Well, yeah, but
Or
he has
negative.
a
Oh, yeah,
modifier.
true. Yeah.
So anyway, he has a whopping -3 to all of his perception checks. So, it's pretty
Seems like
awesome.
you're much better at perceiving the internal than the external.
Yep. Great. Kurak, as you're sitting there, you see a orc kind of manifest spiritually in front of you. You know this to be your great grandfather, and in Orcish, and no one else perceives this, but in Orcish, he says, "Why do you call me Ford?"
Great grandfather, I must ask. Me and my companions are in the swamp, and I must know if there is safe place to rest ahead.
And he He says, "Ah, the swamp, a fierce place. Your dice may tell you the truth." And then he kind of vanishes. And so at this point, I need a percentile roll from you for your augury spell.
Don't you roll that, Jeff?
Oh yeah, I do, don't I? That is a great point.
That's good. I don't like my roll.
Yeah. Well, it also means like if you roll bad and I tell you what the result is, then you also know that you've done goofed.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I bet you don't like your roll. Oh gosh. Let's see if this works. Unrecognizable. Great. Alright. Well, now that I've figured out how to type to myself, you see your grandfather standing before you, your great-grandfather rather, standing before you, and you throw the dice up to the air and he watches them, and you see him kind of like turning the dice as they fall back down, and you catch them in your hands and open them up. They're bone dice, correct?
Yes.
Great. As you open up your bone dice, you noticed a wheel result. W-E-A-L, wheel result.
W-E-E-L?
W-E-A-L,
Oh, gotcha.
wheel.
What does that mean?
If you look at the spell wheel, if the action will probably bring good result.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Because I know yay and nay. I didn't remember the wheel.
Yeah, they do wheel, woe, wheel, and woe, or nothing.
Oh, there's no, like, definite yay?
Nope.
It's either woe or wheel?
Yep. Or wheel and woe. So
Gotcha.
you get a wheel result.
Generally positive.
Alright, I snap out of my trance and it's like, my ancestors say we should continue. There will be safe passage ahead if we are cunning enough and resilient enough.
Sounds good to me.
That's what I said.
What was that?
Oh, I don't think we need the ancestors for that one.
Well, Klaus, the difference between you and my ancestors is they actually knew these lands. You just guessed.
We hail from similar places.
You're a human, not an orc.
And you're half human.
But I am also half orc. I have their blood.
You're 50% right then, aren't you?
I suppose so. Let us continue. We have tallied here way too long. We have no idea if orcs surround us or not.
I suppose.
That-
I'll
then we're
pick
done.
up my falchion, seeing it being a lot sharper, and just keep walking.
Great.
Alright.
Alright, so, you guys continue on walking. And walking. You move through the brush and the swamplands, and it is, I gotta tell you, an arduous journey. There are flies that assault you at every chance that they get. Bugs buzzing around, and just general suckiness. However, eventually, with Klaus's leading, you break out onto a path that has come from within the Ghostlight Marsh. There's a path cut through here.
Alright, we'll follow the path.
Okay. Does anybody want to discuss following the path, or are you guys just happy following the path?
Thank the gods. The path.
I'm
Great.
fine with it.
Alright. So as you follow the path for some way, and as you do so, eventually you come to a point where the GM is going to do something really quick. It's pretty dope. Sorry.
Does it look like a well-used path?
You know, it looks pretty yeah, it looks pretty well used. Yeah.
This path seems suspicious. It is very well used for being in such a treacherous place.
Well, orcs live here. They might use it.
As you guys are coming along, why don't you put your tokens back down over. Actually, I'll just move you. Boop. Aga, you are no longer enlarged.
I was about to say.
So there you go. Feel free to rearrange your cells in, these. Let's see.
What way are we going? This way? This way?
Those squares right there. Feel free to rearrange yourself. Yeah, you're heading in this direction there.
Well, I say Kurek was leading, right?
Klaus was actually.
Klaus is leading. I guess I'll be up front with him, I guess. I don't know.
Great.
Sure.
Looks good. I really like that Aga's in the back. I think she will feel really blessed by that. So.
Yeah, that way she won't get crit.
Great.
Oh,
Right.
correct.
There goes Crack. Be gone!
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to find a good push to talk thing, so I put it on the up arrow, but I forgot those move the guy.
Yeah, control is a fantastic push to talk button for you guys. So yeah, you guys do that, and you see a bridge up ahead of you that the trail crosses and continues on north. So it crosses one of the jetties here.
Do I get my increase in fervor now?
Or
Or do I have to wait until rest?
You gotta wait till rest. And let's see, we'll do this. Never. All right, so there you go. The bridge looks old and kind of rickety. Everybody, we're gonna do this. You two move back to your initial positions. Thank you. All right, so Klaus, you're leading the way, and you see this bridge up there. Pretend like you're in initiative order, and I'll just call out who's going. What do you do?
So I did a perception check to scan the area before I approached the bridge.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. There's a bridge there.
Okay.
The bridge might need inspection, but there you go.
Okay. I will inspect it and try to get closer so I can move my full speed.
Yeah, you can move your normal speed. Yep.
I can get there, and I will do a knowledge check if applicable.
Engineering.
Alright. I'm trained in all.
All right.
No.
You guys have been walking at this point for... It has been about 2 hours. So it's 2:30 in the afternoon, somewhere around there. Yeah, the bridge looks a-okay. Although you're pretty sure that there's some structural issues that you want to address further, and so you're not sure based on that check. You want to look underneath the bridge before moving on. Vasily, what do you do?
Enough, but be careful.
Gonna move up and ask, is everything alright with this thing, or do we need to check anything?
It seems fine enough, but it's quite old. I would use caution for sure.
Alright. I guess I'm just gonna look and I guess I'll just check to see if there's anything like booby trap or whatnot.
Yeah, inspecting the bridge. Yeah, you can do a perception check on it. That's fine.
Less engineering, more for like, hey, I don't want to get whacked by something.
Yeah, you're checking it for traps.
And that
So.
is what would that be under now?
It's just perception.
Oh, okay.
Yep, but you get to add, I think, 2 to it for rogueness, being a rogue.
Should be a 20. Not non-natural 20.
Yep, and so yeah, you see the bridge, and it is a freaking bridge. You don't notice any traps on it or anything. You notice it is old. There's moss growing on it in several locations, indicating that. Thrask, what do you do?
Oh, it is a bridge. Well, we have crossed many deep waters already. A bridge seems a bit redundant. We can just go around it and ignore it.
Or we could go over it like people normally do.
It does not look well made. And we are already wet from tramping through previous waters.
You started to dry out by this time. 2 hours worth of walking. Correct. What do you do? You might need PTT.
Oh yeah, sorry. I will.
Charge.
I'll move up onto the bridge. Yeah, I'm gonna just dead sprint to the other side of the bridge as fast as I can.
Oh man!
I ain't scared no bridge.
Alright, so you just double move onto the bridge, is that it?
I think I get to about here because I only have like 40 feet of movement. I think.
Oh man!
I get onto the bridge, so I'm right here.
Alright. You can see yourself. Will you move yourself down here really quick? Oh, you know what? Oh, look. Here's my secret. There. Move to back. There it goes. Alright, cool. Great. Alright, so you start to walk out onto the bridge. And
Yes.
Aga. What do you do? Again,
I
yeah.
just move up to everybody else.
No,
Stick it
Cloud.
over there. Keep
No.
it. Great. As all this is going on, you guys, hear like suddenly, like it's kind of eerily silent. Suddenly, like even the bugs, like there's been birds chirping and a couple of birds here and there, like mostly crows, so not really chirping, but there's been crows and things like that, and you just realize that there's no noise right now.
This is this doesn't bode well.
And suddenly the brush near to the bridge bursts open. And I rolled perception checks for you guys and nobody passed.
Oh snap!
And
Snap!
this thing comes busting out of the brush and
Oh snap!
ends right there as it comes roaring out, really more shambling out. And and then it tries to attack Vasily, who has uncanny dodge, which is very lucky.
Pop that picture up.
Yeah, definitely. There you guys go.
Yeah. John
Beautiful.
Cena.
It's beautiful.
Dun-dun-dun. Okay. Oh man.
Mm.
All right. And I'm gonna go on a limb and say that a 16 does not hit your flat-footed. That you're flat-footed there, Vasily.
What does Uncanny Dodge let me do, or what is it?
You don't lose your dex when flat-footed.
All right. So would that be in my sheet already? Because it has me as a 14, but I don't know if that adds my Dex ability on there.
Yeah. So on your sheet, click Settings, and then look at Defenses, and there should be something that says "Don't lose dex to flat-footed" or something like that.
Oh, cool.
Make sure that button is clicked.
Yeah, I'm a 20.
All right, so this thing comes in and you dodge out of the way. There it is, and then guess what we are doing?
Initiative.
That's right. Make sure to select your token first.
Ugh. Great.
So this thing comes roaring out of the woods, and we'll do a little.
Hey, finally got good initiative.
Tunage.
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah.
Another thing, I have this reactionary. I don't think this is added on automatically on.
I think it is. Check your initiative bonuses.
Alright, so
Yeah.
6 plus 7?
Yeah, it's added on.
You should, yeah, it's added on.
Okay, cool.
And there's what I'm looking for. Jeez, oh Pete. Great. Alright, so Kurak. That was a surprise round, which you are not allowed to act in. However, now you can act normally.
I will first use my standard action to call upon the protection of my ancestors for my,
Alright.
or my spirit shield, I guess.
Alright, so you use a standard action and call upon your spirit shield.
And then I'll get into base con.
Alright. As you move over there, it takes a swing at you.
Looking for 22.
Alright, it does not hit. What's your spirit shield? Next, we have Klaus. If you have push to talk on, make sure you push.
I would like to do a knowledge check on this thing.
Absolutely, go ahead and roll it.
What do you want?
I want knowledge nature. Alright, so you don't have any idea what this thing is.
Oh gosh, Reed.
Giant mound of stuff.
Okay. So is there a spray that I can get to where burning hands will not harm Greg if I'm here?
There is if you move into the water.
Oh gosh.
How about right there?
Right.
Right here would work.
Oh yeah, that would also work. Yep.
Behind Greg?
Yeah, right here.
Right here.
Okay. I'll move there and I'll go 5, 10, 15, 20 going this way so that whole thing doesn't provoke, but I think
Alright, you're moving in.
and then I will cast.
Are you going to choose to cast defensively in case he has stuff, or?
I will.
Alright.
I've fought large creatures before. Should know stuff I am.
Okay. Spell check failure looks good. And I just need you to click the defensive casting.
Okay. Is that under the spell itself?
It's in your spell section of your thing.
Good stuff.
Right up at the top is defensive casting.
Okay, sorry. Getting there. Concentration check? Or no?
Yep, concentration check.
I think that was-
If you have like combat casting or something, you'll want to roll a defensive casting check.
Oof.
Nice.
Oh,
All right. Well, you get up there and you see this thing towering down on you, and you see that tentacle, this like vine-like tentacle, just barely miss Kurak. And as you go to cast your spell, you screw up a semantic component because you are, quite frankly, horrified at what you see. Vasily, it's your turn.
alright, I haven't really done jumping before. I want to try to jump over this thing.
That will not go well for you.
No?
No.
It's a pretty big creature.
It's 10 feet tall, or 12 feet tall. So,
Okay, maybe not then.
nope.
Should have enough movement to get behind it, though. It'll get an opportunity attack, but it'll be at a... I'll swap out for defense with the... what do you call it?
Combat expertise.
Yeah. So I'll be a 20... I think a 25? It's plus what? For mobility is
It's plus 4. So yeah, you're
So
at
I'll-
25.
You can use acrobatics
Alright, so
as well.
Yep. Alright. Yep, that space or that space kind of is flanking. So.
Either one? Oh, cool.
Yep.
I'll go here.
Great. It tries to swing at you very clumsily. And you can make your attack roll. Just make sure to select yes for combat expertise.
Yes, sir.
Alright, well, a 25 will in fact hit. Even a 27 will definitely hit. For 16 points of damage.
Whack.
Alright.
I'm slippery.
Suddenly it goes. And it tries to attack Vasily, having done the most damage to it. And it gets a 25 to hit you.
Aww.
Yeah.
All it needed was a 21. Alright, what does it do?
It hits you with one of its vine-like tentacles. That is... Yeah. Alright. For 15 points of damage.
Dang.
Ouch.
And then... That...
Probably grapple.
Yeah, it probably does. Can you send me your defensive statistics? There should be a button called defenses. Just click it and then click defensive stats.
Whoop. Whoop.
Yeah, I think it does. Great. Yeah, that's super helpful. You have a really good flat-footed.
Yep,
And it does. It grabs you and picks you up.
bad touch. Bad touch.
Yep. You might be able to worm your way out of it next turn. And then it also tries to attack Kurak, who has vexed it by just being there. And it does hit Kurak as well. For less damage, only 13 points of damage to Kurak.
Only.
And then Kurak, can you send me your defensive stats as well?
Sure. How do I send?
Click the defenses button. You'll see something pop up in the chat window, and then there's a button that says
Oh, I see.
defensive stats. Yep.
I thought it was in the actual sheet.
Great, thank you. And it tries to grab you, and you spin out of its way, presumably coming down with your falchion in a moment. Aga, it goes to you. What do you do?
Go 20 to there. And fervor to find favor, and then I whack it.
Great. As you come in, it tries to slam down, and you put up your shield and deflect its tentacle. And unfortunately, even with flanking, a 15 does not strike it. As it, like, your hammer goes in and you see the vines and the seaweed that it's made out of, like, split apart as you just hit air as you're coming in. It is not giant. Thrask, it is your turn.
Why does everyone pick up my friends? Sit them down. I'll charge up to here. I think 10 feet's enough
Great.
space to charge.
Again, you see it kind of clumsily, really clumsily try to attack you as it comes in with a tentacle, but it's like it's like it wasn't even trying.
Alright. Like that.
Oh,
And you come in and you hit it. Now you don't have flanking from where you're at,
No.
but you come in and you are able to hit it for 25 points of bludgeoning damage. And I believe that's bludgeoning and piercing. Because you put spikes on it, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so make sure you adjust that.
Oh, yeah.
So you come in and smash it, and you hear it kind of howl out. As it seems to focus on you suddenly. Correct.
seems friendly.
You've just narrowly dodged a... you spun out of an attempt for it to constrict you. What do you do? And PTT.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I will swing at it.
Oh,
Excellent. So you come down with it, and you strike it true, but not enough to slice all the way through and deal 5 points of slashing. Actually, 6 points of slashing damage, I believe, to it. So, and again, it kind of like, it doesn't really make doesn't seem too concerned there. So, Klaus, it's your turn.
I am going to walk over here. Oh, actually,
You see a tentacle, one of these vines kind of come out and try to lazily and clumsily trip you as you walk over there, and you just, it was pretty easily avoidable.
okay. If I move one more square. Actually, I should have probably stayed in the square next to Kurek. Not hit anybody with fighting hands, right?
Yeah.
So. Sorry. I will cast it defensively, and I will grasp my hook knife on my neck, and I will attempt again to cast it right here.
Okay. Go ahead and make that defensive cast roll and all that jazz.
Try the defensive cast roll first this time. Oops, wrong one, sorry. Page move.
Passes with flying colors.
Ah.
That's the wrong one, actually.
No, was it? I mean, it's the same. I'll take the 16 instead of the 1.
Okay.
And then it's +9, so...
Thanks.
Yep, you pass, you're good.
Okay, and then there's one right here. Damage should be already calculated.
Nice.
Man, 14 points of damage is pretty good. Swoosh fire sounds. As you guys hear swoosh fire sounds come out of his hands, the creature seems to kind of dance around it a little bit, and you see the flames that do hit it kind of fizzle out as the wet vines don't catch fire.
Does anyone know what this thing is?
It's a seaweed monster.
Vasily, it's your turn, man.
I'm gonna try to escape artist my way out of him.
All right, roll that escape artist check.
Oh, I could have been better.
Yeah, a little bit.
That was a 2. Well, it's 13.
Oh, you're actually good. Wow, that is unfortunate. So yeah, you try to wiggle free, and unfortunately, it does not work. And you feel the tentacles, the vines, like slowly wrapping themselves tighter and tighter around you.
Still whack it.
No, that is your standard action. Try and break the grapple.
That sucks.
Yep. And then it goes, and yeah, it's a little displeased, and so it tries to continue to squeeze you, and it does, dealing 14 points of damage to you as it squeezes
I'm
you.
at 0.
All right, so you're not unconscious. You have a standard action. And then one of its other thicker vine-like limbs comes down on Thrask. And Thrask, you sidestep this clumsy attack, and it slams into the ground between you and Aga. As you hear Vasily kind of coughing, and you see a little bit of blood come out of his mouth at the other side. And he's starting to lose consciousness. Seems like it's hard for him to breathe. Aga, it's your turn. As you see this all going down. Great role-playing, Deej.
Yeah.
Seeing the flames burn out, I'm going to add shock to my weapon this turn.
Alright, do it.
Oh no.
$29 definitely hits for 19 points of damage. Go ahead and roll that shocking damage. Alright. Alright, let me see here. Oh, we don't have everything going on. Alright. So you hit it with shocking damage. And as that happens, you do 19 points of damage to it. Definitely. But as you see the electricity from your hammer kind of surge into it, you see its vines kind of like grow larger as like kind of bulge up, and you see it get larger than it was previously.
Let it go.
Savage.
Oh.
And and you see some of the wounds that have been inflicted on it starting to heal, and it seems energized as you strike it. Thrask, it is your turn. What do you do?
Made the Energizer bunny.
Is that in character, Aga?
It has fast healing like the Hydra. We must put it down. Oh, unfortunate.
Not like that, you're not. And so you say that and swing, and it is able to knock away your hammer with one of its vines, as if you were a child's plaything. And so, Kurak, it goes to you and your trusty falchion.
Yeah, trusty falchion.
Hey man, that's pretty trusty. You slice into it, that same vine that knocked away Thrask's hammer, you slice clean off. You slice through it. Klaus, it is your turn.
I guess we don't know what it is. And
I
say,
think the whetstone is only +1 for the first attack.
Yeah, it's the first attack.
First hit.
Yeah, he hit last.
Yeah, I hit
oh,
last
okay.
time.
Alright.
It was just really bad.
Yeah, alright.
How far is the drop from the bridge into the water?
Like 3 feet, 2 feet. Not much.
I'm going to take a 5-foot step and full strength onto Crack.
All right. Are you going to cast defensively?
Sure.
It's up to you. If you don't want to, you don't have to.
If I don't, I just get hit, right?
Then you have to roll for the amount of damage you take to see if your spell goes off.
Do a defense saving.
But you might not get hit though if it misses your AC.
There we go.
All right. So you're able to cast defensively, and correct. You now have +4 to your strength modifier, or +4 to your strength as an enhancement bonus. Vasily, you are quickly losing consciousness. You have a standard action to do something. What are you going to try and do?
Oh,
What?
a 1 and a 2. You kidding me?
Yes.
Do you want to use your bottle cap I gave you last week to roll advantage
Yes.
on this check?
Yes,
All right,
please.
So go ahead. You can roll again and take that's the wrong check.
No,
Disable it.
whatever.
Feels bad, man.
There we
There
go.
we
That's even.
There you go. 31. As you slip out and end your move right about there after being dropped and fall unconscious to a -1 HP.
Wah, wah.
And you can roll me a Constitution check. That's going to be in core, and just click the little die next to Constitution.
I think that's a pass.
Not
It is
quite.
not a pass.
One
it
off.
was
Oh,
one
It's
off
close.
of a pass.
Right.
Next-
Oh, 2 away
next-
from death.
No. It's not. It's your. You can go negative your con modifier.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Or
yeah.
not
this
your
is-
con modifier. Your con score.
I'm in the wrong game. I'm thinking 5th.
That is a different universe altogether. So, the giant plant creature, invigorated by the lightning and not hindered by any of your attacks this turn, renews its assault upon you, ignoring poor Vasily back there. And Thrask, you get attacked and missed. And Aga. Oh my gosh, poor Aga. Can I have your
Confirmed
defensive?
crit.
Can I have your defensive stats? All right. Poor Aga takes far too much damage. She takes 22 points of damage as the tentacle smashes down on her with extreme, you might say, critical force.
Oh.
And I know right now Chris is screaming, but his PTT isn't being pressed, so no one can hear it.
Oh,
You're just at 0. Excellent. So you have a stand. You can heal yourself next turn as a swift action.
no.
Move on with your life.
You
Speaking of
lucky
next turn, let's see if you get as it slams down on you. You feel some vines try to wrap themselves around you, and they do. You are grappled.
Me?
So, yep, Aga, you are grappled. What do you do with that?
Really?
Yep, really.
Sucks to suck.
Monsters have abilities like this one, as an example, has grab, and so if it hits you with one of its tentacle attacks, then it can make a free grapple
Right.
attempt against you.
Yeah. I'm just surprised he passed.
Now you can cast a spell as a swift action. Just
No, I
fine
can't.
while grappled, or
I
if
can't.
you,
I can't. I'm out.
you're out of fervor.
Yep.
Oh, that's too bad. So you're kind of... Yeah, so what do? You can try to break his grapple with a CMB, or you can...
I I'm going to bless myself with Sanctuary.
Okay, that will not help you in this situation.
Do you have any heals left?
Under?
Yeah, Under's coming out.
You know what? No, okay, that's fine. You can bless yourself with Sanctuary. That's a good idea. So you bless yourself. Now, is it a spell-like ability or is it a supernatural ability?
I will look for that.
Okay. What blessing is it? It's blessing of what? Oh, it's glory.
There you go.
The description
Yeah.
might be by fervor or something like that.
I just put it in chat.
No, it's we need to know what type of, if it's a spell-like ability, then you have to make a concentration check for it.
It's an SU. Is that a yes?
That is supernatural, so you're good. SP is spell-like. Great, thank you. So yeah, you cast Sanctuary on yourself. As you do that, you also fall unconscious. However, you guys see this thing kind of roar out in pain as you see this little gap of force appear around Aga and where this thing was wrapped around it, and it drops her. Drops her onto the ground. And Aga, you're at -1 hit points, and I need a Constitution check from you. Thrask, it is your turn.
Alright, I will 5-foot step to right there,
Okay.
and then I will attack.
Yeah, so 21 will hit. Aga, you are stable. And you smack this thing for 20 points of damage. It cries out again in pain as your hammer firmly slams into it. Kurak, it goes to your turn.
Alright, I'm gonna 5-foot step to get flanking.
Nice.
And then I'm gonna take another good swing.
Excellent. You
That's
come
an
down.
18.
Yeah, so you come down with your falchion, and it sticks into the creature, who kind of like rears his head around at you slightly, and you're just able to pull the. Did you put in the strength modifier for yourself?
Oh no, I didn't.
Okay, it's not going to matter, but you pull yourself out, pull the sword out, and dodge a tentacle as it tries to like. You think it's viewing you as a fly. Klaus, it is your turn. What do you do?
I'm not sure what will work against this. And I take another 5 step back, and I cast magic missile.
Alright. Cast magic missile. Wow, that okay, great. So you fire magic missile. 3 missiles slam into the creature.
That's not the right amount of damage either. It should be plus 2 more damage.
Yeah, it's +1 per missile, so slam into the creature for 12 points of damage. And again, it howls out in pain. Vasily, I need a constitution check from you.
Oh boy.
And then let's see if our heroes survive to fight. Vasily, you stabilize.
Yay.
Alright. Thrask, it attacks you, finally landing a hit on you as you've been the elusive
great.
target. And a hit it is for 19 points of damage. But it fails to grab you. It again attacks with a second tentacle as you've constantly done consistent damage to it. And it hits a second time as well for 17 points of damage.
Oh, man.
I'm really glad I drank that potion earlier.
Yeah, I bet. And again, if this is one of your first times listening, Thrask has a unique ability called Furiosity, which allows him to stay at positive hit points into negative his Constitution score. And right now he's at -9, and his Constitution score is...
I'll actually use heroic, whatever it's called.
Oh, Hero's Defiance.
Hero's
Great.
Defiance, yeah.
Alright, as an interrupt.
Yeah. If I can find it.
It's just you drop your... You have it prepped, right?
Yeah.
Great. So it's just your lay on hands. It's not a lot of healing.
No, it's really bad.
So you heal 9 points of damage. It's not actually really bad. It's about average.
That's about right. Yeah.
So you're at 0 hit points, sir. As the thing wraps its viney tentacles around you,
Oh man.
Aga, you find yourself in Dreamland, and Thrask, it is your turn.
So
You
I'm
can try to break free, or if you have a light weapon drawn, you can try to attack with that. But
if I don't
or
have
you can try and take control of the grapple.
That's true. If I don't have a light weapon drawn, then it would take my whole turn to draw it.
I believe so. I don't think it's a move action to draw normally, but you're grappled, and so I think you could try and punch it.
Yeah. I will. I'm actually gonna channel.
All right. Yeah, excellent. So you drop 2 uses of your lay on hands,
Yep.
and everyone, including the monster, within 30 feet of you will heal.
Oh.
4 points of damage. So everyone heals 4.
And rock.
All right. That is Thrask's turn. As you feel the other tentacle trying to grab around you, and you feel like it might be thinking of pulling you into. Correct. You see the creature starting to try to pull Thrask into 2 pieces. What do you do? PTT.
Sorry, I'm gonna try and cut the vine that's holding Thrask.
Alright, so you try to attack the creature. Did you put your
Yes.
strength modifier in there this time?
Yes.
Okay. Alright. And you managed to hit the creature, though not cut all the way through it. What's your strength normally?
14. Did I do it wrong?
Did you put it as an enhancement bonus?
Yes.
Okay, you didn't recalculate though. So, because your damage is wrong. So anyway, you hit it for 10 points of damage. And as you do so, it cries out in an immense amount of pain and dies.
Whew. That was a close one.
Can you find that frickin' will-o-wisp so we can get out of here?
Oh, the will-o-wisp leads you deeper into the, deeper in there.
Uh-huh.
I thought your ancestors said it would be fine.
Yeah.
No, you misunderstood. My ancestors said there's safe havens ahead, not that it would be easy to get to. Nothing in an orc's life is easy.
Good to know.
Perhaps we should have somebody else asking the questions.
Perhaps you should listen to what I say. As I tap you with a cure light wounds.
That's pretty good cure light wounds. Again, remember that some of you are on push to talk, which is actually quite fantastic for recording purposes.
And then I'll walk to Thrask and give him one as well.
Alright.
Thank you.
I believe we still have another potion. Looks like we're gonna need it.
We do, yes.
Then I'll walk to Vasily as well and give him one.
Another 9?
Yep.
Many thanks, friend. Many thanks.
Remember that next time you disrespect my ancestors' wisdom.
I didn't disrespect anything. I just kind of got everything knocked out of me.
Fair enough.
That was Klaus that disrespected your ancestors.
Oh, was it? Oh,
Yeah.
It was Aga.
both of you.
Let's hope
So,
you're-
which way should we go then?
I assume
Ahead,
over
there.
the
The GM drew you a pretty bridge to cross.
Let me cross it first. You're still recovering.
Lead on.
See if it's safe.
Yes, you look quite unharmed.
No, did not manage to hit even though I got it close. I am going to cross the bridge, GM.
You cross it.
It appears safe.
Oh,
Smoke and mirrors, smoke and mirrors. You thought the bridge was the threat, but it was the monster.
oh! I'm gonna cross it as well.
Alright. I gotta tell you, I was so happy that you said, I'm gonna give my weapon shocking. I was like, oh, awesome!
I'm glad
It
you
makes it
enjoyed it.
better.
Well, at least it only healed for a little bit.
It doesn't get fast healing from that.
Right.
You're like fix it, Felix.
Right, but if the electricity had been a greater amount, that would have been worse for us, probably.
Nope.
Oh, okay. I don't actually know how they work in this game.
Nope.
Cool.
Any amount of electricity, you could cast Jolt on it.
I don't have knowledge nature, so I don't know what it is. And flames did not work.
Yep, they did not. So, bear that in mind that flaming flames didn't seem to work if you run into another of these, and electricity did something to it.
It's assumed that I have Detect Chaos up pretty much all the time right now, right?
Yeah, unless when you want to cast a spell, that will drop Detect Chaos.
Yeah.
You might want to remind me of that, but yeah, you have Detect Chaos cast.
Alright.
It slows you guys down a little bit, you having to stop slightly every 5 or so minutes to cast it, but yep. Great, same thing. Excellent. So you guys continue to walk through the swamp for a time. After about another 2.5 hours. It is now nearing 5 p.m. You think, judging by Aga's survival check that she just rolled.
Well, correct. Hopefully your ancestors were meeting before dark.
I hope so. I do a perception check for a good place for camping,
Great. Roll it.
or like any inspiration to where my ancestors might be pointing us to go.
Yeah, great. As a matter of fact, the land you've crossed 2 bridges since leaving the plant monster, and you've come to a place. It's a small clearing on raised ground above the swamp.
Perfect vantage point.
There's
And
some
it's
woods
clear
around,
and
but-
wet.
Yep, it's dry. Yep, very dry.
This must be where my ancestors told us to reach. We just had to brave the plant monster. We should hole up here for tonight.
Fine enough.
I'm sure we'll find very little much better than high ground out of the wet.
Well, I thought things would be better than working for those crusaders. This isn't going so well.
No, we tried to warn you.
Agree, you were warned. You came for greed anyway.
You got me there.
If we are stopping, let me take a look at your wounds.
Sure.
Recall if we still have that campfire beat from that weird guy back in.
I do, I got it, and I'll toss it on.
Well, perhaps it would not be a good idea to alert everything in the swamp to our presence.
Oh, I don't know.
It might keep the wildlife at bay.
I would rather be able to see what's coming.
I can see what's coming.
A light so close would actually make our vision outside of the campfire's light worse, I believe. But perhaps.
For yourself.
It's just whoever is on watch, don't look at the fire. You look out into the darkness.
Fair enough.
But we need the warmth, and we could use the light, and it might keep animals at bay, though it may attract the attention of orcs.
Orcs and plant monsters probably would not be deterred.
Either way, I'd rather fight in the light.
Do as you will. I
Cannot
just
go.
need to get some food and to heal up.
I still have 4 cure light wounds I could use
Nice.
before bed.
Probably a good idea.
So this one's for Vasily.
Another 9. Thank you.
This one's for Brass. Very consistent. This one's for Aga. And this one's for myself.
Ah, saving the best for last, I see.
Do you guys have the sound effects on, like the master volume turned up on the Roll20?
I have it up.
No.
Yeah.
No.
A little bit.
Have it up a bit. I don't hear anything though.
You should turn it up.
Ah, there it is. I just need to turn up a lot more.
Yeah, it's pretty quiet.
Oh, Jeff, I don't want to hear that.
That is what you guys hear as you're making camp. Just that, but multiplied by like 20.
Are we in Burma?
Before we
Yes.
set for rest, will any of you be opposed to me starting some small fires nearby? Perhaps not converse with some of these insects.
Do whatever you think will help.
That is a good point.
So In the sight of my allies, I'll collect some wood and I'll use spark to create some smaller fires. They're probably about 30 feet to 25 feet from the campfire. And I'll take time doing that while everyone else is sitting in the camp. These also will provide light as we sleep. Perhaps it will confuse the enemy and make them think there's more of us.
Possibly.
Works for me.
Whoops.
Whoops.
I only used 1d6 instead of 2, like I was supposed to. There we go.
Yeah, you can take a watch.
Volunteer for first watch then, so I can get accurate time.
Generally speaking, each watch is 4 hours. You guys can choose to set watches at different times if you want.
I can take second watch if you'd like. The darker it is, the better for me.
I can stay up all night if needed.
Oh, brother, you should get some rest. I think your wounds are deeper than you thought.
Yes.
We all deserve some rest.
So, Vasily, you're taking second watch?
I'll do
Yes,
first
sir.
watch.
No, I volunteered for first.
Oh yeah, that's right. For your bugs. I'll do
Come on.
GM, if I specifically in my watch use my perception to listen for things coming my way, do I still take the -3?
No. I'm pretty sure it's a -4, but no. You don't.
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah.
For sleeping and gaining health back, I keep bouncing back between this and D&D. How does it work in Pathfinder again?
Yeah, so you gain your con modifier plus your level.
Alright, so I would just gain 7 back while sleeping. In total.
Yeah, if that's your level plus your con modifier.
Alright.
So, Aga, you bandage people up and patch them up a bit. You can go ahead and just use 2 uses of the healer's kit, and that's it. But you're able to like help them feel more comfortable with the grievous wounds that you guys have sustained during the day, but you don't do anything to help them heal. Unfortunately, it's kind of hard in the swampy areas such as this. Vasily,
Yep.
you're on watch in the middle of the night, and you can go ahead and roll me a perception check. Great, thanks. At night, you notice, like off in the distance, quite a ways. It looks like the swamp is like aglow with it appears to be like large fireflies. From your vantage point, it looks like they're fireflies, but they're so far away that you know them not to be.
What do I have? I don't think any of my knowledge would help with that local or dungeoneering.
Dungeoneering could.
Let's see if I can, if I just think, I don't know, fireflies, or I think it's something else.
Yep. So, you see these things kind of glowing, and you're watching them, and you're like, you're looking, and the tree, you can kind of see over the swamp in some ways, for a distance. You notice a lake up ahead of you that you're trying to traverse, and so you're looking across the lake, and you see these glowing forms, and as you're standing next to a tree, the fire is quite low at this point, just low enough to keep a little bit of warmth and keep the coals going. Because again, you don't like the light, and you notice that the tree is glowing white. You turn around quickly, and you see a light moving through the woods on the other side in the forest near you. You can see the light kind of paneling as it moves through the woods, though you don't see the source of the light.
I know this isn't normal.
No, you don't, and you do recognize the lights that you saw across the water. You're pretty sure that they're will-o-wisps.
Oh, so I do know that.
Yeah.
It was Klaus who had the jar?
Yep, you need to put the husk of a dead will-o-wisp in it. And you see this light kind of glowing nearby you.
I'm gonna quietly walk over to Klaus and kind of nudge him up.
Great, go ahead and make me a stealth check.
Yes, sir. I think I'm good.
Yep, as you move over there, you move quiet as a mouse. Yet you hear what sound like whispers as you get closer to the light. And you get up to Klaus. You nudge him awake, Klaus. You feel somebody waking you.
And I have my hand over my mouth, or finger over my mouth for quiet.
He makes a noise as he wakes up before he... It's kind of like, oh, what? And then he sees it and quiets down. As he said, he's startled. As he makes that noise, blackness. The light is gone.
Well, we had a will-o-wisp on our hands.
How did you know where?
We had dancing lights all over the place. Swamps aglow. Not far off, we had whispering in the woods.
And while you don't know much about will-o-wisps, you do know that they are incredibly dangerous and should be avoided at all costs.
But we're trying to get one.
Yep, you are. So you kind of hold those two things in tandem there.
Well, I thought I spotted one, and I was going to try to wake you up quietly, but you, apparently were in a nightmare or something.
Sorry, I didn't hear your footsteps. You were quite quiet.
That's the point.
Well, that's what's terrible.
Well, it appears we're going to have to be a little more ready for this at night if we're going to catch one of these dang things. From what I know, they're quite dangerous, but I'm not going to go after one by myself.
I agree, but the lamp is here just in case. Where did you see it?
What was it, Jeff? Just it was on our side of the lake, or was it across the lake?
You saw a number of glowing lights, kind of like the forest was aglow as fireflies. On the far side, like, you can just see from your vantage point the far side of the lake, but it looked like the whole swamp was that way. And then you noticed one maybe 100 feet, not 100 feet, maybe 30 feet into the woods on the other side near your camp.
Oh, near our camp. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
moving through the trees near your camp. Sorry, I didn't describe that.
No, that's all right. That's all right. Oh, yes, and what I assume was the spirit very close to us. So, I was hoping not to have to wake everyone up loudly.
Well, I think it's best we wait till tomorrow and try to set a trap. I'm not sure much about them. Like you said, all I know is they're dangerous.
We're gonna have to do some night exploring, so if we don't get completely obliterated tomorrow, maybe we should try staying up and hunting them.
It sounds like a
Oh.
good idea.
Well, we can deal with that later. You go back to sleep. I'll keep on the watch.
Thank you. And like I said, the lantern's here. If you get a good opportunity, just let us know.
Will do, friend.
When you go back to the cliffside to look at the globes, the lights on the far side of in the rest of the swamp, all of them have gone out.
Yeah. Ah, shit.
And the crickets some crickets kind of return. The mosquitoes continue to plague you. And the rest of the night passes uncomfortably for everyone. Not because of the incident, but because there are mosquitoes and it sucks.
Mhm.
It's like that camping trip we took, Juice.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
exactly what it's like.
Jeff, how many rough camping trips have you been on?
Yeah, that one was pretty bad, though. It was 95 degrees, humid, and tons of mosquitoes.
Worse than when you and Ben shared the tent?
Yeah, worse than that. At least then I could snuggle up to him, you know what I mean? I had a source of warmth. So, alright, so, with that, let's take a brief break. You can go to bio, whatever. How about you guys be back do 10 minutes. So 9:29, be back.